the media reports. This comes as the federal government meets today to address long-standing agitations over the implementation of the renegotiated 2009 federal government and ASUU agreement, which triggered nationwide protests across universities on Tuesday. And earlier this year, the President Bola Tinubu administration released 50 billion naira to settle earned academic allowances owed to university lecturers and staff. However, ASUU has consistently demanded clear commitments on improved salaries, conditions of service, university funding, autonomy, and a review of laws governing the National Universities Commission and the Joint Admissions and Matriculation Board. The meeting expected to be attended by the Minister of Education, Dr. Tunji Alausa, the Minister of Labour and Employment, Muhammadu Megari Dinyadi, and representatives of the National Salaries and Incomes and Wages Commission, is expected to produce a timetable for signing and the phased implementation of the renegotiated agreement, along with related reports. Meanwhile, Access Holdings plc has appointed Mr. Innocent Ike as its substantive group managing director and chief executive officer effective from August 29, 2025, following regulatory approval. The announcement comes just hours after Roosevelt Obona resigned from the company's board in line with new corporate governance rules issued by the Central Bank of Nigeria. The appointment, contained in a statement released on Wednesday, signals a new phase for the group under the leadership of Chairman Aigbuje Aijimokude, who returned to the helm following the death of former group CEO Herbert Wigwe in 2024. In the meantime, the Yobe State Emergency Management Agency has stated that it is working tirelessly with the local emergency management committee and humanitarian partners to ensure the safe and dignified relocation and recovery of families affected by the recent flooding in Garinkolo. Also, the YOSEMA has taken swift action to support affected families, providing 32 temporary shelters, medical care, and essential supplies to ensure their safety and dignity. In a statement on Thursday, the agency stated 32 fully erected temporary shelters have been completed to provide safe accommodation for displaced families. 10 emergency latrines have been constructed, and essential non-food items such as mats, mosquito nets, blankets, and buckets have been distributed to affected families. And medical teams have attended to 35 patients, with 22 discharged, 3 pregnant women receiving care, and 1 elderly person receiving special attention. You're still watching news analysis live on Politics and Business Television. Still to come, government and stakeholders to explore industrial policy at West African Summit. Details of these headlines and more news content after a quick break. Stay with us. Welcome back. In Business Matters, the federal government has committed to exploring strategies for implementing the new national industrial policy to scale industries and transform West Africa's economic future, alongside manufacturing stakeholders at an upcoming summit. The collaboration will take center stage at the West African Industrialization, Manufacturing and Trade Summit and Exhibition 2025, scheduled for October 2025 in Lagos. The Minister of State for Industry, John Eno, at a press conference on Wednesday in Lagos, declared that Nigeria will build its industrial policy on past executive orders targeted at promoting local content, but with a stronger push through the Nigerian First policy. Now, the foreign scene, an overnight Russian drone and missile attack on Ukraine's capital has killed at least 10 people, including 3 children, and wounded dozens of others, officials said. Powerful explosions rocked Kyiv into the early hours of Thursday morning, illuminating the sky and leaving behind columns of smoke as Russian projectiles damaged and destroyed buildings in several districts of the city. The attack was the first major combined Russian drone and missile attack to strike Kyiv since United States President Donald Trump met his Russian counterpart Vladimir Putin in Alaska earlier this month to discuss ending the war in Ukraine. Among the dead were 3 children aged 2, 14 and 17, said the head of Kyiv city administration. And for sports news, let's join Tom Morocco.
Champions League qualifiers defeating ASUU FC 3-0. Vera Samuel was named player of the match with strong support. Morocco Tom, let's dive into your latest PNB Sports update. Bielsa Queens showed their dominance in the CAF Women's Champions League qualifiers defeating ASUU FC 3-0. Vera Samuel was named player of the match with strong support from teammates Shakirat Mashoud, Alaba Olabi and Janet Akekromwe. In England, Liverpool have strengthened Ancelot's backroom staff with the appointment of Luis Fernando Lubel as the new individual development lead coach. The Brazilian steps down from his role at Atletico Mineiro and will begin work on Merseyside from September 1st after securing a work permit. His arrival also means a new role for Aaron Briggs, who will now serve as Liverpool's first team set-piece coach. While on the track, Nigeria will be well represented at the Diamonds League finals in Brussels. In the men's 200 meters, Udodi Ozurike will compete with a season best of 20.17 seconds, while over the hurdles, Nathaniel Ezekiel goes in the men's 400 meter hurdles, carrying a season best of 47.31 seconds. And in the women's 100 meter hurdles, world record holder Toby Amusa enters the finals with a season best of 12.24 seconds. All 3 athletes will be flying Nigeria's flag proudly as the season reaches its climax in Brussels. That's your sports update. I'm Araka Tom for PNB Sports.
And that wraps up today's program. But before we go, the headlines again. ASUU Vice Chancellors decry professors 525,000 naira monthly pay. And Access Holdings names Innocent Ike new GMD and CEO. UOB provides 32 shelters and medical care for flood victims. And from me, Bulus Joanna Ray, it's bye for now.